of doing that? What does it do to the shrimp?
Mainly it's when you have less water and when you cook it with oil quick, it becomes succulent instead of soft.
Okay, I got you.
You
I
see what I mean? You
understand.
take out
So the purpose,
excessive water.
the purpose is for texture.
Texture.
Okay,
Mainly for texture.
very good.
Yeah, and then I usually use the onion, slice it. Is that you call it julienne, right?
Julienne, uh-huh.
Yeah, and then I will prepare the sauce. I use ketchup. I use some spicy hot pepper, if you want something spicy, and I want some little bit vinegar.
Okay, rice wine vinegar?
Rice vinegar and some soy sauce.
Some soy sauce.
And probably you need to put on sugar, maybe some salt to your own taste.
Okay.
Then you put the sauce then with some chicken broth to make it more water.
Okay.
Then you put some cornstarch to
I know,
make
yeah.
it.
Mhm.
And then you just first you have to cook the stir fry the onion, and then you stir fry the shrimp. Then you prepare the sauce, and then the sauce that put in the wok is a little bit oil, and then
What kind of oil?
any oil. I usually use back home we use peanut oil, but here I use olive oil.
Okay.
And then I cook it, and then when it start to boil, and then they reduce, become thicken, right? Then I just put in my shrimp and the onion, and then mix, then I eat.
So you put some oil in the pan first, and then put the sauce back in it?
Put the sauce.
The sauce you've already prepared?
Yeah, you prepare, yeah.
Already?
All in one bowl, instead of you put here.
Right.
Everything, they just make it, cook it, then it start to thicken. You just put in the
Shrimp.
and the onion. That's my famous.
What's it called? Miss Lowe Special?
You talking recipes?
Yeah, 干烧明虾. 干烧 means I don't know. 干 means dry. 烧 means cook. 明虾 means big shrimp.
Do you make a good broth, a good soup, a good broth? Do you make good? Are you a soup maker?
I usually don't have too much
No more
soup, because if I have soup too much, because you have to put a lot of the salt in the soup
Right.
to taste it, then I start to have water retention.
I got you.
I don't feel that. I don't like the feeling, because people water retention, they retain on the body. I'm totally on my face, and make my face so uncomfortable. You know, like squeeze my eyes, everything. So I try not to have too much soup because of that.
Okay.
Yeah, but the shrimp dish is good.
What's your next favorite? One more.
I like last night I cooked something very simple, so simple. I just diced the chicken, just small pieces. I do everything small pieces, and I marinated the chicken with wine, with
White wine.
white wine and a cooking wine, or like a soy sauce, and some. Sometimes I like to use sesame oil.
Love it.
And some fresh ground black pepper and the salt, marinate that. And then I put a little bit, before I cook, I put a little bit cornstarch. And I stir fry first, and I take it out. Then I dice the celery too, like this, small. And then, I cook some tofu, fried tofu, and I slice it. And just mix it together. It's just home cooked, delicious. And you can put some. I usually like to use jalapenos.
Me too.
Pepper, because I like a little bit hot spicy.
Me too.
To bring out the flavor.
What province are you from?
I actually from Fuzhou, but never lived in that part of the country. I was born in Taiwan, so my food, I eat everything, and actually I like dumpling. And usually dumpling or noodle belongs to people from the northern China. I suppose considered from the south of the China. But I love the noodle. You know the dumpling, those? I love those. I do my own.
You do your own?
I like the home cook. I don't cook. Home cook usually better because it suit your own taste.
Yeah.
And I usually cook when I cook. That's my habit. Everything small, so the flavor goes in.
I like everything
Small.
chopped.
Yeah,
too.
and then when you cook, the flavor all go inside of the food. Instead of the big chunk of the meat, inside has no flavor. You know what I'm talking?
Sure.
So everything I like to do is small.
That makes sense.
The dish I did last night was so home cooked, that kind of thing, but it's delicious because celery bring out the good flavor, and the fried tofu sometimes you can get from the Chinese grocery store, very popular. It comes in like the puffy, that kind, and I just too big, I just cut a small piece. So usually if everything is julienne, then everything julienne, all the ingredient. If it's a small piece like this, cubes, small piece, that everything inside ingredient. And I usually, another thing I like to use, I did use yesterday because celery is very fragrant, so I don't need that. But usually I like to use a lot of the green onion
Oh, really?
for the meat or something, because like take out the meat, gaming things.
Right.
And also like right before you finish cooking, take out from the stove, I slice the, either I chop it like small piece like this, or I slice it like this length, and that's very small pieces, and then put it on the meat top right before you take it out from the stove, and mix it, and then bring out the flavor.
Barely cook it.
Barely cook
just
it.
Eat it.
Yeah, you don't.
You use a hot wok? Very hot?
Wok.
Very hot.
I have a gas stove,
Right.
so it's good to
Yeah.
use a.
Do you have the wok ring? To make all the heat go up to the wok?
Mine, because it's a gas stove, so it's okay. But probably if it's electric, you probably need that to have the heat. But wok is the best way to cook Chinese food.
Cook a lot of food, not just
Like a
Chinese.
So also keep the stove clean. That sometimes you put things in, then there's splash everywhere.
Everywhere.